Let's address the elephant in the room, FBG Cash killers. It's been over a month since FBG Cash was murdered in the Killer Ward section of Chicago. Since then, a lot of new information has come about surrounding his murder. Both police and social media detectives have been working real hard on the case. There's a lot of allegations, a lot of clues, and a lot of suspects. We're going to try our best to compress all this information in part 2. With all the new information that comes out, there might be a part 3. This is actually part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, make sure you go back in my videos and watch it. I'll leave it on the description below. In part 1, we talked about some of the bigger name suspects. We went into Old Block having some involvement. We went into Tasha West. We went into some possible backdoors with his people in his own camp. And we also talked about Ken Vaughn's uncle. In this part, we're going to go through the police report. We're also going to go through the little conspiracy theories that people have out there that the police might have been involved. We're going to talk about some of the lesser known suspects and their possible involvement. Without further delay, let's get right into it. In the actual police report, some of the name and information is blacked out. As this is an ongoing case, a lot of information is not going to be privy to the public. The police don't want the suspects to know what they have on them. What we do know is whoever the killers are, they're facing homicide in the first degree, aggravated battery with a firearm, and criminal damage to vehicles. Although we know it was 2 shooters, police only have the description of 1 suspect, and the suspect is a black male around the height of 5'10" to 6'2". They say he was wearing black shoes, black jeans, black hoodie, or sweatshirt. They don't know his name, and they have nothing on the second shooter or who was driving the vehicles. So far, they only have 1 witness listed as a black female. I'm assuming that's the young lady that was with Cash on the day that he died. With everything that's going on with other possible witnesses on scene, with the possibility of the suspects using Apple AirTags, with the information that's out there on the internet, you would think the police would be closer to solving Cash murder, but it seems like they haven't been having any luck, which leads a lot of people on the internet to believe that the police were somehow involved. If we look into the police report, we'll find some clues as to why people might feel that way. One thing that stick out is that the initial call came out at 5:32, and the first arriving unit got there at 5:35, which is 3 minutes later. Now, some people might think this is a very fast response, but if you look into it a little deeper, you'll realize that the police were actually there all along. According to one of the witnesses on scene, they stated that the police were posted on the corner when the gunshots were occurring, and that they waited until the gunshot stopped and the suspect vehicle fled the scene to go and check out to see what's going on.
I said the police was literally sitting in fucking CVS lot. I'm watching this off my back porch. They sit in the lot. They did not move till after that shit was over, after the car done sped off and turned the corner, and then the police moved out, didn't they? They did not.
Now, there's 3 ways to look at this. We can look at this as if maybe the police were involved in the situation, maybe the police did not hear the shots, or they were simply too scared to go check it out while the shooting was occurring. In either situation, it's left for the public to question whether or not they did all they could. One thing people on social media had a hard time understanding is why the woman that was with FBG Cash claimed that she was sleeping while that whole incident happened, when other people in the neighborhood woke up when they heard the shots ringing.
That shit woke me up. Yes. That shit woke me up.
The police report only had 1 witness listed, and that witness was a black woman. People on social media began to question whether or not that was the woman that was with Cash. People on social media began to question why she wasn't also listed as a suspect. Although she was a victim, people are saying that her phone records should be checked, especially after the near miss FBG Cash had weeks prior with an incident involving another woman, or maybe that same woman. People are wondering why the police aren't looking into her or her possible boyfriend. People on social media were also saying that if the reports are true about the killers using Apple AirTags to track FBG Cash, it shouldn't be that difficult for the police to backtrack it to them. That's just some of the issues with the police and the police report, but let's continue on to the possibility of other suspects. In part 1, we left off with King Vaughn's uncle. In part 2, we're going to start off with FBG Cash security guard. It was reported that FBG Cash fired his security guard 10 days prior to this incident. FBG Cash security knew exactly how FBG Cash moved. People on the internet are saying that he was upset for getting fired and possibly backdoored FBG Cash. FBG Cash security had an interview, and on that interview he was asked why wasn't he there to protect FBG Cash. His response had the internet on a frenzy. A lot of people didn't agree with what he said.
When a person want to still live a normal life, right, you can't force them to have S on them at all times, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
That's true.
Folks was with a chick. What nigga you know gonna want another nigga with him with a chick, bro? Motherfuckers hitting my inbox and shit like, man, you supposed to be protecting him and shit. But at all times, bro, I can't make another man, you know what I'm saying? Be with him at all times, bro. Niggas still got normal lives, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's been many times I
understand that,
hey,
man.
bro,
Motherfucker should have had another car or something, man.
That's what
I want to ask you this too, because I was told he got mad at you, he fired you, bro, over that shit. So would you still securing him, or he, you know what I'm saying, he felt some way about that?
Nah, about what? About
After the interview, he was upset at the person that interviewed him. Due to his affiliation with 63rd, he went on 63rd, basically dissing the whole 63rd Street, saying nobody was out there and that the block was dry. People on the internet took him going to 63rd as a diss. This made him even look more guilty.
stop playing like when I said I'm right here, bro. I don't play. You stupid. I'm right here on your block, bitch. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? On your block.
Another individual who people were mad at was FBG Cash engineer. A lot of people were saying that it's because FBG Cash went on live with the engineer that the killers knew where he was and that they follow him from the studio to his current location. Although the engineer admits to being FBG, in a few of his interviews he stated that he once worked with the ops at one time or another in the past. If the ops knew the location of the studio, it's very likely that they tracked that live and follow FBG Cash from their studio. After the murder of FBG Cash, a lot of people blamed the engineer. A post circulated around with the engineer saying that he was recently shot at and an attempt was made at his life. Whether or not that's related is unknown. Another suspect that most people aren't even thinking about had issues with FBG Cash stemming from a year ago, and those issues possibly could have led to FBG Cash murder. It was eerie what this individual said a year ago, because FBG Cash ended up getting killed in the same manner. This individual we're talking about is King Low. Although King Low was arrested a short time ago and is facing some years for an unrelated incident, people on the internet are saying that he might have had something to do with FBG Cash murder. King Low was on a live with FBG Cash, and that live they was going back and forth, and King Low was asking FBG Cash to show his car. He was telling FBG Cash that FBG Cash was scared to show his car because he knew people would light it up. He basically made threats saying that he knew where his mom stayed and he wasn't afraid to drop the location.
Let me see your whip. Let me see your whip. I bet you want to go show that car because niggas gonna light that bitch up. You know niggas gonna light that car up. That's why. And fuck your mama who want to stay in Maywood, nigga. Your mama stay in Maywood, nigga. I drop that location to the sharks, nigga. You think that shit gonna hurt?
One of the other notable individuals that people are saying was responsible for the murder of FBG Cash was DQ from the O. DQ from the O is a member of the Get Back gang. People were saying DQ from the O had something to do with it because of the witness description in one of the posts that circulated online and because of the police description. Although he wasn't there at the time of the incident, social media is insinuating that Dirk had something to do with FBG Cash murder. They're saying that he was the money behind it. In other words, he put money on FBG Cash head.
Don't roll with Zop. Roll a ass in a Cuban cigar. I feel like Smirk. Piss me off. I want them dead how much it costs. I feel like Smirk. Piss me off. I want them dead how much it costs.
Niggas, we can merch it.
Niggas on that.
All out. Hey. You ain't have your gun for them. You better have your gun for me. Better have your gun for Booney. Better have your gun for C. You don't believe me, you gonna see. You gonna end up by that tree.
I know that we did it.
But I got my gun for Boone, they call him Chief. But we should've killed him soon, cause he a thief.
They know that we did it.
What folks said.
So what do you guys think? Do you think any of this is true? With all these clues, all these allegations, and all these suspects, it's still a guessing game as to who FBG Cash true killers are. Do y'all think this murder will remain unsolved? Or do you think the internet or the police will solve the case first? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification.